Before we begin tonight's episode, we want to share a brief content advisory. This episode contains discussion of paranormal activity, ghost encounters, and historical death themes. Listener discretion is advised. This content is presented for entertainment purposes only, and any historical or true accounts discussed are publicly available. Remember that. In honor of Valentine's month, tonight's episode is part of our Lovers series. Stories where love doesn't end at death. Tonight, we're taking you to one of the most famous haunted locations in the world, the Stanley Hotel, to tell the love story of F.O. and Flora Stanley, a couple whose bond is said to be so strong it still echoes through the halls and the hotel they built together.
F.O. Stanley was an inventor and a visionary, but it was Flora Stanley, a gifted pianist, a deeply emotional presence, who may believe left the strongest spiritual imprint on the hotel. Guests and staff have reported hearing piano music in empty rooms, doors opening and closing on their own, and an unmistakable feeling of being watched, not with fear, but with familiarity. Some believe the Stanleys don't haunt the hotel, they protect it. Others say their love for the Stanley Hotel and for each other tethered them here long after death.
In this episode, we'll be sharing real stories from guests and staff along with documented paranormal footage taken inside from the Stanley Hotel itself. We'll explore the rooms, the highest activity, the spirits most often encountered, and why this location continues to draw paranormal investigators from around the world. So, we'll also dive into the deeply romantic relationships between FO and Flora Stanley, how their devotion, partnership, and shared legacy may be the reason their spirits are said to remain together, watching over the hotel they loved. This Valentine's Day month, we ask the question, does true love ever really leave? Because it's the Stanley Hotel, some love stories never check out.
Oh, is that your cutaway?
So, Freeland Oscar Stanley, known as F.O. Stanley, and his wife Flora were not just the founders of the Stanley Hotel in Estates Park, Colorado. They were partners in creativity, health, ambition, and a deep affection for one another. I hope to have that love one day. So F.O. was born in 1849 in Maine and grew up to become an inventor and an entrepreneur. Along with his twin brother, he co-created the Stanley Steamer automobile, one of the most successful steam-powered cars in the 1900s. Despite the success of F.O., struggled with serious health issues. So in 1903, he was diagnosed with TB or tuberculosis and given a grim outlook, seeking the clean, dry mountain air recommended by his doctor. So he traveled west to Colorado with Flora. We'll get to them in a minute. Let me give you the breakdown. It's all messed up now. I'm already this far in. So Flora was much more supportive spouse. She was trained pianist, cultured and socially grateful, and deeply devoted to her husband. The mountain air of the state park dramatically improved F.O.'s health, and the couple fell in love with the landscape. What began as a health retreat quickly became a shared dream. They wanted to create a grand, elegant hotel where other wealthy travelers could experience the same healing environment. Not like the environment, like the healing environment we had talked about on the previous episode with that one lady, Amy. We're not going to go there, but Together, they oversaw the creation of the Stanley Hotel, which opened in 1909. Flora played a major role in shaping its atmosphere. She helped design the social spaces and filled the hotel with music and culture. She basically made it at home, is what I'm hearing. So she was known to play the piano in the grand music room for guests, and her performances became part of the hotel's identity. By all accounts, the Stanleys were devoted by affectionate couples who enjoyed hosting, entertaining, and building something meaningful side by side. So they spent many happy years in the estate park before eventually returning to the East Coast later in life. Now, Flora passed first in 1939. Fo, deeply attached to her throughout her long marriage, followed in 1940, about a year later. That is where the history ends and legend begins, right? So, for decades, guests and the staff of the Stanley Hotel reported strange but gentle phenomena believed to be connected to the Stanleys. The most famous is the sound of piano playing in the empty music room, particularly late at night. Some guests claim to have seen a faint figure of a woman seated at the piano bench, dressed in early 20th century clothing, vanishing when approached. The presence is widely attributed to Flora, eternally returning to the instruments she loved. So, FO is said to appear less often, but is reported seen in the lobby or near the bar area. Sometimes described as a well dressed older gentleman observed the room as if still watching over the hotel and its guests. Now, unlike many haunting tales that focus on fear, the stories surrounding FO and Flora Stanley carry a tone of guardianship and affection. So, people who experience these encounters often describe feeling welcomed rather than threatened. So, doors may open as if inviting guests inside, lights may flicker softly, and the atmosphere is frequently described as warm, not hostile. Because the hotel was their shared creation and symbol of their partnership, many believe their bond tied them to spiritually to the place and local lore. So theirs is not a story of restless spirits trapped by tragedy, but two people who loved each other and their life's work, so deeply that some part of them chose to remain, right? So whether one views these accounts as paranormal events, romantic, folklore, or the power of suggestion, it's in a famously haunted location. The legend endures. Flora still plays the piano. Fo still keeps watch. And at the Stanley Hotel, their love story is said to continue long after death. Now, that being said, let's get into it. Now you have the
I have
background.
one.
Right. Go ahead.
I have. I'm going to quick go over one of the things there. The Stanley Hotel claim to fame came in 1909 when it needed it the most. Stephen King, struggling with alcoholism and chasing the high of his success from Carrie, went to the Stanley in the winter of 1974 with his wife Tabitha. King booked a room at the Stanley before it closed for the winter. He intended to find inspiration on his third novel, A Dark, Lonesome Place Far from Home in Maine. The hotel's reputation as an extreme mountain getaway at the entrance of the Rocky Mountains had long faded. The difficulties of keeping the hotel profitable during the harsh winter led to constant changing hands for a better half of a century, and neglect followed. Stephen and Tabitha King found themselves alone in the hotel, joined only by a housekeeper and a bartender. The couple was ushered to room 217. Unbeknownst to King, a terrible disaster occurred and left a dark mark upon the cursed room. After checking in, they headed to the dining room where they dined alone, accompanied only by pre recorded orchestra music. Every table surrounding them was topped with upside down chairs. The eerie atmosphere took them in. After returning to the room, the young author began exploring the empty hallways. That night, he dreamt of a fire on the wall came to life and strangled his 3-year-old son. A violent premonition of what happened at the hotel in this very room over 50 years prior. Whether or not he meant a special entity in the hallway remains uncertain, but the foundations of the shining shaped in his mind from that moment on. So, because of room 217, which in room 217, there was an explosion that actually off a maid and I think a guest in the Stanley. So there's a little backstory on how we got the book The Shining with the Stanley. That's kind of cool. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was sorry, I was trying to keep up with you. I'm like, let me get some pictures in.
Oh yeah, the room 217.
Yes. It's beautiful, but I hear so many like scary stories on there. Like
It
door would open
is.
on its own, like I don't know. Apparently like luggage will kind of put itself away.
Oh, that's. Oh, sorry. It injured a maid and damaged the structure of $500,000 in the year 1911. It was a
Oh,
gas explosion.
oh hell no.
So
So, what do you think? Like Tiffany, not to get too much in the Stanley Hotel. I know we're trying to like stay on the couples, but
yeah,
it's really hard to go into the story and then not get into
the
the whole
reason why.
yeah, because there's a lot going on, you know what I mean?
Well, I do know he had TB. So,
That
and
can cause hallucinations, right? I think. Or
all
am I
I
thinking
know
of something
is,
else?
no, I was just saying they had such love for each other that his wife stood beside him and helped him to
Hmm.
recover. Think about that love. So,
Yeah.
Tiffany, are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
You bacon?
Nope. I'm good.
You bacon?
Mm-hmm.
So here's a photo of the couple. That one looks good. I like that one. That kind of brings them to life a little bit. Yeah, which is funny because we're really not Valentine's people. We actually really hate Valentine's Day. But there's something cute about like a little like love ghost story, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Maybe. I think so.
Maybe.
Um Here's some portraits of them.
Okay.
Go ahead. Say what you
I'm
gotta say.
I'm still gonna say this. She
Mm.
looks like the type that's very stern, just saying, and he looks creepy. I don't care what people say.
No, he looks like a cutie patootie old man. I feel like he would be like, I don't know, like that grandpa vibe. He's like, here's a nickel. Go get you something.
No.
I feel like he is.
He
He
might
looks like a
be.
very nice, but in the portraits they didn't smile back in the day
No.
because gotta stay very still, even in drawings.
But he did love the hotel.
Yeah,
He tried his hardest, but like they said with the winters, back then it became harsh and people couldn't really get up to the hotel. So it went under, like it really went downfall until The Shining came up and built it back up.
yeah.
So, but
See,
they
doesn't
did
he
it.
look like a fun little old man?
I like his hat.
You like her hat?
So they built this hotel because of the air
Yes.
quality.
Yes. And that's where I say, have either of y'all been to the hotel?
No.
I really want to go. I want to see if all this stuff is true.
If we go, we're going to stay in room 217.
Are we sharing the room?
We're gonna have to because I'm not sleeping in it alone.
I mean, we should get two rooms, like just a backup room just in case we get scared.
I don't even know if you're allowed to have that room anymore.
Last, I think I know for a while it was like guarded off.
It's yeah, something about the heating system that don't work in it.
Hmm. I wonder why. Hmm. But anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this story and y'all have a spooky, spooky night and happy Valentine's Day month.
Not day.
Nope, month.
It's only one day a month.
Tiffany started it. She's like day, month. Okay. And then even in like the intro, I was like, Happy Valentine's Day month. And I'm like, oh, just keep going. All right. Y'all stay spooky and have a good night. Okay. I need to know if this has happened to you or anybody really. Why is it so hard to find a pair of black, like literally black leggings that actually does everything you want them to do?
Because you never can.
No.
Right. So that's why I wanted to bring up Tona Activewear. They're premium gym leggings created by one of the original designers from Lululemon. They're designed specifically for women who actually train hard, not just lounge around in leggings all day.
Like me.
And you can feel the difference immediately. These leggings were designed by a competitive athlete, so they're made to move with you, stay in place, and not distract you while you're working out. They're moisture wicking, they have 4-way stretch, and they honestly feel like a second skin. And I keep seeing people say the same thing in reviews, how they don't slide, don't roll, and somehow make everything look lifted. And let me tell you, for somebody who hits the track really hard, that is 100%. Like, if they ain't gonna give me a wedgie, I am there. I'm just saying.
Right, exactly.
And I've seen more than one person say it's the push-up bra for my butt. And honestly,
Ooh.
I get that hype.
I
Yeah.
really need that for my botox. So that's what I love about them. They actually combine performance and confidence. You can train hard, sweat, move, stretch, and still feel really good about how you look because they lift your butt.
Meow.
People call them the last black leggings you'll ever need, and they rave about how comfortable they are for literally every workout. Plus, Tona offers a 100% fit and happiness guarantee, which makes trying them feel super low risk. Right now, our listeners get 16% off any Tona activewear order, and this is the highest and exclusive discount available. Just head to tonaactive.com and use code HOST at checkout. If you're serious about the gym but still want leggings that actually flatter and perform, yeah, because who likes to work out and then lounge around? That would be me in all my leggings. Tona is definitely worth trying or checking out. And remember, head over to tonaactive.com and use code HOST at checkout. And thank me later.